We watch the news, we read magazine and newspaper articles, we like posts on Facebook, we retweet statuses on Twitter. We come in contact with so much media in our day-to-day lives that I don't think we really realize how much this media can be stereotypical, how much it can be generalized, how much it cultivates us. So today, I want to inform you about the cultivation theory and how we unconsciously allow the media to shape our views of society. In a way, it's like we allow them to control our minds and what we deem to be reality. And there's actually a name for that. I'm going to speak about it a little bit later. But today, I want to talk to you about the cultivation theory and what it really is. Give you a couple examples of cultivation already being used in today's media, and also give you some examples of some ways that you can keep yourself from falling into this norm and realm of misconception that we seem to live in. So since I gave you a little bit of an outline of what we'll be discussing, let's dive into cultivation theory. The cultivation theory helps us to explain how the mediated messages affect our perception of reality because media is the dominant storyteller. What do I mean by media is the dominant storyteller? In the text, Insight to Innovation by Dr. Rebecca Cornelia, she states that we learn about culture through the media the same way that we learn about culture from our parents and our grandparents. That right there just shows how much the influence the media has on our day-to-day lives. One component about the cultivation theory would be media ownership. Media ownership, this kind of explains who really owns the media and the goals and the profits they want to reach from the media that they depict to us. Take, for instance, reality shows. Nothing really about reality shows is reality, but these shows depict violence. They show drama. They show so many undesirable values that we would not deem acceptable if it had not been labeled reality shows. Another concept in the cultivation theory would be ideology, which is pretty much just a system of norms and beliefs that really constitute a culture. So, if media ownership is able to affect our ideology, that makes them hegemonic, which means that they are able to control us. So all these big words, how do you really play them into day-to-day life? Well, let's get a couple examples. There's actually a theory called the social cognitive theory, which states that we see behaviors and we pretty much mimic them and we learn the new behaviors and we have them enacted within us. So video games, Call of Duty, it's a game that shows what it's like to be in war. It opens up a realm and it gives our young kids so much information about guns and weaponry. Another one would be Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto promotes free will and violence. I actually even read an article about a 14-year-old boy that killed his father and his younger brother because of the inspiration of a Grand Theft Auto character named Trevor. So that kind of throws us into what is known as to be the mean world syndrome. Mean world syndrome pretty much just says that the people that see this violence in the media are the heavy intakers and consumers of this violence that they see in the media. They look at the world as scary. And they think that they are more prone to have violent acts committed towards them because of what they see. So let's look at it from another standpoint. How about dating reality shows? Flavor of Love, I Love New York, all these shows. There's so many shows that show people literally fighting for love. Is that what we're supposed to do today to get love? Is to fight literally for love? Or what about Bad Girls Club? It shows a group of women that are put together in a house to really show how bad they are. Is this supposed to be the ideal of a woman that we're supposed to show to our young children and our young girls nowadays? Even The Bachelor. I'm yet to see an Asian, a Latino, an African American bachelor or bachelorette. So is it saying that in order to find love, you're supposed to be Caucasian? So how is it that we can change our perception of the things going on in the media? For one thing, I think that maybe you can be a part of the difference. Women, the elderly, Latinas, African American, minorities are so underrepresented in the media. If you fall under any of these categories, or if you fall in more than one of these categories, maybe you should get your face out there and be a part of the difference. Also, stick to what you know. There's really no reality in reality TV. Don't try these stunts at home, kids. If you see anything in these behaviors that depicts or they go against any norms or values that you have within yourself, I encourage you not to even partake in these activities. Also, to educate yourself. There are so many things that we just do not know or only know the half of. Not even just in entertainment, in politics, in the government, in some cases in religion. Keep yourself on top of the game and make yourself aware and build your own views and your own perceptions and your own oppositions about the things that you see. So these depictions are really skewed to show not only what the media wants us to see, but only half sides of stories. It helps us to really generalize and gives us so much ignorance about certain cultural groups. I went over what cultivation theory is. I've given you examples of the way cultivation has already been prevalent in our society. I've also tried to give you a couple ways that maybe you can keep out of the norm that everyone seems to be following into. Today's society relies so heavily upon the media. It's becoming just the basis of how we operate. So stay on top of your interviews that have originally been instilled in you to stay as unique as possible. Next time you're flipping through channels on the TV guide or you're scrolling through your favorite social media, see if you might even be able to find some examples of cultivation in the media that's in today's society. Thank you.